I mean, can you join me, please? What? Right now, I'm on the Zoom meeting. You come in, please. I am. It says the host is another meeting in progress. No, I am. Are you in the wrong one, ma'am? No, ma'am. Can you come right now, please? I see you right now. Let me just admit you, okay? I'm admitting you. I'm admitting Trevor. Just come in. You and Trevor. Hey, Trevor.
Hey, what's going on with you?
Hey, brother. Hey, brothers and brothers. I was on the phone talking to somebody who Ariana knows, and everything's so sweet. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good. Looking good.
Excellent. Me, I'm going to try to get myself coffee. Look at Trevor. You're looking so sweet, bro. This is not fair, man. I don't look fresh now. I don't look fresh enough for this, bro. This is not fair, man. Brother is looking just too fresh, man. Look at the pills and everything. God damn it. The black CEO.
Hey, guys. You look gorgeous. You look Beverly Hills.
Okay, let me get coffee while you guys talk, okay? All right. So we're already recording. That's cool and excellent because that's going to help. My bro Trevor, sorry.
Don't forget to make this Facebook live stream in our group, right?
Should I start doing that right now?
Yes, it's already 10 o'clock, sir.
Live on Facebook.
Mr. Trevor, I'm just going to have a very short, intro, PowerPoint, maybe about 5 slides. And then I'm going to introduce you because you're going to be our main focus for.
Yep, and I got some other new data that just came in.
Wow.
On some stuff that we did just to, oh, by the way, you gotta enable screen sharing.
1 second, brother. I'm doing that right now. Enable screen share. Now you got it. So we're about to go live right now on Facebook.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, let's do it.
And we're already going live right now. A lot of folks are coming in. Should I let folks come in?
Yes, please.
All right. You can still welcome everybody. Everybody's coming in.
Good morning. Welcome, welcome. Yes, we have a very special presentation today. And we're so very, very excited, guys, because this is a very, very special day for us. We have a very special speaker, a very powerful story about his journey with SMS-iT. And of course, we have always updates. We are also live streaming in our Facebook Live group. And it's almost, I have 2 minutes to 10 o'clock, but want to welcome the people who are here. We have Joel, Kimberly, John Marie, Mr. Knight, Eugene. So how's everyone doing? You could always go to the chat group so we could be able to see your responses there. Hello, Joel Whaley from Arizona. Okay, guys, I'm also monitoring the Facebook group here. Yes, we are streaming live. Anyway, it's almost a minute to 9, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure my share screen is ready. Okay, guys, it's 10 o'clock sharp. So we're going along because we have a very special speaker and we're power packed for today's presentation. Anyway, I know we were so lucky to get Mr. Trevor Otts. I knew we had we had another topic, but today we're going to be featuring on this interview. And let me just share with you a few presentation slides before we hop on and go to our very special speaker for today. Okay, I'm gonna just get ready here. Okay, do you see guys my share screen here? All right, great. July 23 morning to all. We are excited. We were very busy this week, all because we have so many events going all together. And this week, we were launching our August 8 to 9 marketing bootcamp with Matt Koenig himself. You know, we've been in a frenzy with that. Please check our Facebook group for updates on the event. And that's just about less than 15 days, 18 days away. So truly encourage you to get this Power Pack conference because you're going to get a boatload of information and learning. And what we are all about, we would just like to let everyone know that our main right now is community building and sustainability through personal communications. So everything that we do is to build existing community and people who are also getting into our community, and hopefully we will be able to sustain the community needs. And we appreciate all the partners that value, that have the same interests and values as we have. We provide jobs and opportunities, and we serve our customers and community to the best of our ability. In all our actions, we would want to emphasize that because we are all for building. We want to make sure that everybody is happy in our community. And we want to be emphasizing that we have a very diversified customers all over the globe with very needs, but we are there for you in our customer care chat, in our Facebook group, in our webinar. We are always there for you to try to help and assist you. Okay. Remember that we all started, our goal was to send bulk text, voice, and video phone messages globally in a jiffy. And that is still our main aim, to be the leader in that space. Now, everybody is confused, but we really just have two flagship main products right now. That's the cloud phone, which is our gateway network, and the decentralized version, which is your choice of gateway network. That's your gateway carrier or Twilio, whatever your choice of gateway provider. So it's really as simple as that. Next line is our global market is growing every day. A lot of people think we're just in the United States with customers, but that's not really true. We have US, Canada, Europe, Asia, and Australia. So we have very different time zones. So when people question and say a question in Facebook, we really will not be able to answer because our time frame is in California. So please bear with us. And I hope you understand that we are there for you, although 24/7 we might not be able to address you. Okay, this week we were very busy with the Matt Koenig Bootcamp. So grab your tickets for that, guys, August 8 and 9, 2 hours.
I believe her micro, Ariana's video is paused. All right, so we just wait a little bit, okay? So all you can come right back. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. So while we wait for her to come, we're trying to tell you guys that for this week, we've had a lot of updates, a lot of upgrades, a lot of exciting news. Okay, but I wouldn't be able to share all right now because most of them are still in beta stages. We also have some very okay, Ariana is back. Ariana, can you continue, please?
Okay, so do you hear me? Okay. So now the cloud phone, wait a second. I don't know why now the cloud phone fee is 20%. We raised that up from 10%. So that is a big breaking news for all you guys. You have your cloud phone referral fee. If you refer it to a friend, that is now the rate. And we want to thank you, Mr. Henry Skull, for that generous upgrade. I'd like to clap for that, okay? And also, next in line, we have our media team, which is furious in creating all our infographics, all our ebook guides, and we're launching our Smart Tools Guide, 38 pages. It will be uploaded in the university and the Facebook group. Guys, this is a step-by-step ebook PDF guide on our smart tools, and you could learn it real fast by just reading it, like 20 minutes, you're done. Okay, so go and grab that after this webinar. It will be uploaded. But now I want to really focus on our main interview speaker for today. We're so excited. I can't contain my excitement with the story of Mr. Trevor Otts. It's really a David versus Goliath story. That's why we wanted to share it with you guys. And Mr. Trevor Otts is coming from Maryland, and his story of how one man against all odds won an election. He's here today. I cannot I cannot contain my excitement because this guy is a rock star. He's a rock star. So let's welcome Mr. Trevor Otts.
Mr. Hey, Trevor Otts. Hey, Ari, how you doing?
We're so excited. As you can see, I'm so giddy, right? After hearing your story about how you used SMS-iT to win an election, I'm like, I fell off my chair. So go ahead and please share with our community.
Yeah, so, I think SMS-iT is a really interesting software, I mean, in a good way. I think first things first is I kind of came into this scenario with SMS-iT very much like other people did. Like I heard about it in different places like AppSumo, and I had run across a YouTube video by a young lady, and I think she's in the group. Her name is Colleen, right? And so I watched this video, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know. And I had previously been using Twilio. And as anybody knows, based upon your size of your list, that can get to be prohibitively expensive. But I had to think to myself, I was like, well, here's the chance to really kind of significantly lower the cost of my text message marketing, or stick with the old marketing and just keep paying exorbitant fees. And I can remember when it didn't matter much when I was paying, $100 to $200 a month. But once your text messaging fees get to $4,000 and $5,000 a month, because you have a list of 60 and 70,000, you have to consider that, especially as a small business owner. And so I signed up for SMS-iT, and I get on the phone. I talk to Henry, and I talk to tech support, and they get me set up, and that was great. And then I get a call from a few of my friends who decided a few months earlier that they were running for office, but that they needed some help. And so they called me, and I said, well, sure, I'll help. Now, typically, when I go in to help people kind of market their business and things like that, there's usually a big budget. But as you know, sometimes in public service, big budgets are not there. And so I go over, I meet with them, and I ask them, how much of a budget do you have? And I was thinking, 10,000? No. 5,000? No. 1,000? No. We got about a few $100s. And so I said, okay. And I'm thinking, well, what can we do? And they had been posting on social media, but still not getting traction. They were putting up signs on the street, but who wants to put signs? You've all seen the election signs. Who wants to put up signs? As a matter of fact, I think it's 108 degrees here in Maryland right now. So who wants to be putting up signs in the hot weather? And who wants to be knocking on doors in the era of COVID? So there were all of these challenges plus a budget of about $500. So what we did was we went down to our local Metro PCS store and we purchased a total of 10 phones for each candidate. And so we purchased these 10 phones and we were going to maximize our budget, connected to the SMS system. And so what we started doing was we started sending out text messages to everybody within her district. And her district was the 26th district of Maryland. We didn't know whether or not it was going to work or not. We didn't know if people were going to get the text messages or not. We didn't know if people were going to feel annoyed or not. We didn't know if it was going to work or not. But all of a sudden, as we started text messaging people, people started responding back. People started saying, oh, thanks for the update. Thanks for letting me know the election is coming. Oh, I had never heard of you before. It's good to finally know something about you. And we started getting all of these responses. So we said, oh, okay, let's continue this. And so when this process started, they were relative unknowns. I mean, just unknowns. And they were up against an incumbent. They were up against somebody who had already won a few elections. So you got to think about it in this way, that it's a true, really kind of David versus Goliath kind of situation. And there was no true expectation to win. It was just, hey, let's just put up a good show. But all of a sudden, we started gaining traction. And so literally, the elections were Tuesday of this week. The elections for Maryland were Tuesday. Our primary elections were Tuesday. And so we're all kind of crossing our fingers and we're all kind of crossing our toes and we're all kind of wondering what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, people started walking up to the polls and said, oh, yeah, I got your text message. Oh, yeah, thank you. I got the text message. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know you. I've been getting your text messages. And I'm like, yeah. And so we're all kind of shocked. We know that we had been sending out text messages the whole way through. And we had been sending out picture text messages with sort of the campaign literature, ones with the actual ballot, communications, and thinking about what it'd be about, things like that. So come election night, at around about 8 o'clock at night, the results start coming in. And so for the 26th district in the state of Maryland, the lady, her name was Veronica Turner, and she was running for delegate in the 26th district. Now, they select the top 3 as the people who win. So out of the 10 people that were on the ballot, a total of 10 people on the ballot, they only take the top 3. All of a sudden, we start seeing the numbers come in, and Veronica is in the lead. This is the client, this is the customer, this is the candidate. She's in the lead. And the incumbent, right, is showing up right behind her. And then by the time, right about 11 o'clock at night, when all of the ballots were finally counted and everything was in, not only did Veronica win a seat, but she came in the #1 position. And it was just shocking. It was just amazing because we did not completely understand the true power of the text messaging system. Now, I want to kind of give you perspective. Her district and the amount of people who voted in her district, her list was probably around about 114,000 people. So about 114,000 people total. And so if we had used, let's say, Twilio to do that, we were sending MMS-based messages using SMS-iT. You can see I still got it. Still got my system, trusty, handy dandy system running right now. Got all my phones sitting here. But on average, the average sort of picture-based text message can run anywhere between 3 to 5 cents. And so if we just take the 114,000, I'm pull up my trusty calculator here, just to kind of give you perspective, is at 114,000 times 0.05 cents. Every time she would have hit that list, it would have cost her $5,700 every time she hit that list. We hit that list probably no less than 10 times over that month. And keep in mind, we started marketing late. So other people had a whole, 6 and 8 month jump on us. And so if we ran it about 12 times, so that would have been 5,700 times 12. So if she had really tried to do that with a traditional campaign, Twilio and all the workarounds and that kind of stuff, it would have cost her $68,400. But here's what it really cost her. It ended up costing her the cost of 10 phones that we got on eBay. And each of those phones were about $30. And Colleen gave us a connection. Our first phones were with Metro, but she gave us a connection to Tello, T-E-L-L-O. And that got our cost down to about $8 a phone. So we spent $80, a total of $80 for a month worth of messages. And we spent about $300 on phones. So we spent about $380, might say $400. So she was able to save about $68,000 because it cost her $68,400. And that's just really, that really underscores what it means to really do the due diligence, really use the system. And let me say a few things. Yeah, there were some bumps in the road. There were some bumps. It was new technology. We had to learn how to use the system. We had to figure out Android phones. I'm an iPhone guy, so that was a little bit of a challenge. And each time we ran into a challenge, we would get on with tech support. And it was Henry and a couple people, and they would show us how to optimize our campaigns. They would show us how to get our phone to working better. They would show us how to get it to, move it from, 3 seconds of message to, messages kind of rotate between 10 and 30 seconds. And when it took us about a week, maybe 8 days to get the thing dialed in. But here was the big takeaway. One, it was as if we gave a candidate who basically was up against Goliath, was working with, limited funds, very limited funds, but she was able to produce an outcome that overcame her competition in the space. Her competition had billboards. They had billboards. They had signs everywhere. These people had television commercials, but she stepped in and took a chance on the new technology, took a chance on our company, and we were able to really help her deliver a win. And that was big for us. And then we had some other ones who right now, they are so close that they're still counting mail-in ballots. So there's possibly a second winner, which is another person that was in that campaign group. And they did the same thing. And so they literally used the text messaging system. And so here's what I would say that I learned from the campaign, and I hope everybody kind of hears this, and you should write this down. Text, we should not consider it as, it's not a marketing tool. SMS-iT is a community tool. It's a tool that helps you build your community. It's a tool that helps you connect to your community. It's a tool that helps you engage with your community. And so if you think of it as a community tool, as opposed to a marketing tool, you'll be able to use it correctly. And I got some other stuff I'm going to show you right now, some just things that these are like these amazing results. I mean, just think about giving somebody's campaign like $70,000, right? In, potential value and benefits. Think about giving somebody, a small business owner who's working with a limited budget, the chance to really compete through the power of technology. And so SMS-iT really leveled the playing field. That's the big thing. And if you're out there, you're listening right now, I hope you're hearing this because I don't get paid to tell you this, right? I got my own business, I have my own business to do, but SMS-iT leveled the playing field. SMS-iT is the Swiss Army knife that every small business owner out there needs. It literally can do everything and anything. But the key to it is to really follow along with what they're telling you to do. And let me use as an example. First things first, let me tell you about the mistakes I made. The first time I started running the marketing, I totally did everything they told me not to do. They said, listen, set your settings to from 10 to 30 seconds in the profile area because I'm on the decentralized side. And what did I do? I set it to 3 to 5 seconds. And what did I do? My first time, I burned through 50 numbers. Had to call the phone companies up and had to change the numbers because they started getting blocked as spam. Didn't do what they told me to do, burned through all the numbers. Then the second thing was they told me, hey, Trevor, when you're sending the images, make sure the images are literally optimally under 300 kilobytes, not megabytes, kilobytes. Me, I sent one, it's like 1.3 megabytes. Not realizing that the average cell phone provider is anything over 500 kilobytes, they're probably not letting go through unless it's a prime carrier. And so I had to go back and optimize because of that. And then saying, hey, Trevor, you don't want to sound salesy. You want to connect at a community level. And once we started getting these things taken care of, a lot of things started to change and we started getting responses. And people even started calling in. People started calling the phones and saying, hey, by the way, I got your message. I want to volunteer and all these kind of things. And then the last thing was they had, Henry had showed me the spinner feature. This is what they told me to do. I had bought all these phones and I was going to put them all on one node, like one kind of node in the decentralized side to just use all 50 phones sort of like at one time. But Henry had told me, he was like, hey, why don't you, he said, the AI control panel, the artificial intelligence control panel, that's the magic. That's the magic. What did I hear? Let me do 50. I had to go through what's called like marketing rehab. Everybody type that in the chat. Marketing rehab, right? And when you go through marketing rehab, you have to undo all of the bad habits that you sort of learned along the way. That basically just harass the hell out of people and ignore the hell out of people, right? And so Ilna, he said, hey, I want you to use the spinner. And I want you to be less salesy and things like that. I said, okay, got it. And we did that. And so what happened was, at first I was sending messages and you got to keep in mind, this is a list of like 114,000 people. Imagine 114,000 people all getting the exact same message in the exact same way with the exact same link. And that was a problem because even then you would still show up really on the cell phone providers. You kind of end up on their hit, so to speak, and what you want to do is you want to stay out of their crosshairs. And so with the help of Colleen and some of the other leaders that you will see in the space, and Henry and Ariana, you started optimizing that thing. And we used the spinner. And by just changing, by adding in 5 little variables, it created 43,200 different versions of the same text message. And I'm going to show that to y'all in just a second, just so you guys can just see it, right? 43,200 different versions of the same text message. So now, basically, most people will, at max, only 2 to 3 people will receive the same text message. Other than that, mostly everybody's going to get their own version of the message. And so what I'm telling you now is use the spinner, 1. 2, set it, make sure you set in your profiles under the decentralized side 10 to 30 seconds. Make sure you do that. And then number 2 is break your phones up using the AI control panel. This was one of the big takeaways that I learned. And so what I did was I got the agent account, the agency account, and just took each one of my phones and put them on their own little separate settings and broke the list up that way. So those were some of the big takeaways. And then that was just Tuesday. So I would just be happy with, hell, we won a freaking election with $500, $400, right? $300 for the phones, $80 for the actual service itself, $380. We went out and won a freaking election. right? And I'm talking about up against an incumbent, up against money, up against this, just an election. One election for sure, and the second one is coming down to the wire. And both candidates were literally, and you can look her up, Veronica Turner, 26th District, State of Maryland. Basically, she went going away. So want to give a shout out to her, want to highlight her, want to show her some love because she basically took on Goliath using SMS-iT. Basically, we were able to use technology to take on Goliath. So what does that mean for you guys who are listening now? Well, we're small business owners. Most of us are here right now, small business owners. And Goliath are the mega companies that you're out there, that you're up against, who got the bigger budgets, who been in business for umpteen years, who had the connection and the contract, but you have the ability to level the playing field. And that was my first big win of the week. So then, fast forward to Thursday. Thursday, I get back on the phone with Henry, Ariana, Colleen, the team, and what was there was another gentleman too, and he is, matter of fact, he has a session coming up. I can't think of what his name is. Do you know his name, Ariana? Matter of fact, he has a boot camp coming up. What is his name?
Matt Koenig.
Yeah, Matt. Right. So get back on the phone, right? Get on the what's name, start following Matt, start following Colleen, start following Henry, just really kind of digging in. And all of a sudden I started a new campaign. And this campaign started on Thursday. Today is Saturday. It's not even been a full 3 days. It's been 2 days and a few hours. And so we start back up again. And again, this time, normally, so for those of you who don't know me, I run an organization called Black CEO, and I work with help minority entrepreneurs get their businesses off the ground. That's what I do, right? And normally when we have to run a campaign, we have to spend easily $7,000 to $10,000 in Facebook ads. Some of y'all who run Facebook ads know exactly what I'm talking about. And we got to spend, thousands of dollars in Google ads, and we got to cross our fingers that it's going to work. We got to cross our fingers that it's going to that it's going to yield results. Because as Ariana said yesterday when we were talking, is that as in business, the one thing you want is most of us, we depend on that appointment. We depend on that traction to our page. We depend on that sales appointment. So let me show you what happened after I used the spinner, set it to 10 to 30 seconds. I purchased the upgrade, the agency. It was only like $20. It was $20 to add on 20 additional separate agency accounts, not team accounts, agency accounts. So they're all on their own separate AI control panel, which allows you to do the spinning and the other related things, right? So let me show you what happened. And Colleen, not Colleen, but Ariana, none of y'all have seen this yet. This is the first time I'm showing it because I didn't realize it till this morning. So let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay. Yesterday and Thursday, I had started getting some help from them. So this is phone number 1. This is phone number 2, phone number 3, right? Phone number 4, right? And I didn't add in phone number 5 just yet. But 1, 2, 3, 4. It was a total of 5 phones. But I tracked 4 of them. So I just want you to look at what happened with these 4 phones. Yeah. I'm going to just kind of pick up the phone right here so you guys can see them. Right, and then I'm going to show you what happened. These were the 4 phones, and you can see 1 here, 2 here, right, 3 here. So 1 second. 3 here, right, and you can see number 4 here. And literally just started running the ads on Thursday after meeting with them and getting everything optimized. And I want you to see what happened is that I got 200 leads from this phone, Another 200 people came in, basically 194 from this phone. Another 146 came from this phone. And another basically 180 came from this phone. So I picked up and I clicked up about another 200 from the other phone. So I brought in 1,000 new leads, right? Or correction, 800 new leads to this page. Just on Thursday, Friday, we're still on Saturday morning. So really 2 days. 2 days, 800 new leads, right? And you can see, and there's some new ones that came in today. So they took me up to 1,484, right? And you guys can see these numbers right here. And I hope you guys can see it clearly. And out of that, Ariana, you'll love this. I had 393 appointments. My sales team has 393 people that they are meeting with. You can see it right here. 393 people that essentially 2 days. I got 393 people that want to meet with me to essentially go and be a speaker at the event. So we are selling, we are offering opportunities for people to speak at our event. And it's a crowd-funded speaker event, and they're coming here. Now, understand that to get basically, you might say 400 appointments, typically our close rate is going to be about 50%. The product is $797. So I'm going to just put that in perspective. Now, every business, the number one thing you need is traffic and leads. But at $797 times 50, that is probably going to be about a $39,000, basically a $40,000 windfall. But my phones, these 4 phones cost me $8 a month on Tello. So it's going to cost me $32,000 to create a $39,000 windfall. Now, I know that is, that's a bit hard to believe. I know that. But the thing that I want you to think about is as you're kind of using your email list and building up these Facebook ads and things that drive traffic, now you start to be able to really communicate with these people, to build community. And so again, I say that SMS-iT is not a marketing tool. It's a community tool. It's a way to communicate, to connect with your community, to engage with your community, to inform your community, to transform the lives of your community. And so when you're having people texting in, they are becoming a part of your community. If it, I know that there's all of these different types of entrepreneurs, but I think everybody here, I think we are really community-preneurs, right? That we are literally doing business by building our communities, that we're really building business by helping to transform communities. And so as you start seeing all of the features, from the coupons to the spinners to the all the different tools, and I'm just a regular guy, just like everybody else, just using the tools, and also having enough grace to work through the bugs. I'll use as an example. There's never been an iPhone that's been released that didn't have a few bugs. Even the first iPhone had a few bugs, but they still launched it. And so there are things that we've seen along the way. The MMS feature, that started getting quicker, and it's getting better and better and better. And it's really interesting because I've seen a lot of programs come and go. And this one has been probably one of my best investments, probably in the last 5 years. And so Henry, Colleen, Matt, I do want to say thank you. I want to say thank you, not just on my behalf, but I do want to say thank you on behalf of the entire campaign team, because you guys helped us really win an election. And in addition to that, we are now going to continue using the phones to stay connected to the communities, or that they're going to use to stay connected to the communities that they are responsible for serving. And that really is the true power of SMS-iT. And I'm looking forward to using more of the features. And what I've done is I've made it a point to try to master one feature every week, to try to master one of the features every week, And I will just, one more thing that I want to make sure that, that I show everybody here. I'm going to share my screen one more time, just so you guys can see it. When I say, and I'm going to hide floating screen, there you go, so you guys can see it without anything blocking. I went here and I created right here where it says agent sub-accounts, right? I just bought like some extra ones for like $20, right? And I set here, this is phone 1, this is phone 2, this is phone 3, this is phone 4, this is phone 5, right? And I set them up as separate accounts on the AI gateway. And so I'm just going to go here so that you guys can see what I was telling you guys about. And so when I went to, I'm going to go to
we can't see your sub account screen. You would need to reshare the screen.
Okay, let me reshare. 1 second. Let me reshare now. Let me show it right now. 1 second. Let me redo it right now. Okay. And I'll just okay, let me just share my screen again. 1 second. Let me know when you see my screen. Share, new share, and where's that thing right there? Okay, and you guys should see my screen now.
Yeah, we can see your new screen now.
Okay, so this was the one that you helped me set up on Thursday, right? And I'm gonna show you what was really interesting about it. So I went back over here to the AI side, right, which is here to the dashboard. And when I got to messages, this is where I got a lot of help from Henry and Colleen. By the way, if you guys are not checking out Colleen's YouTube page, you should. You should. I can say personally, Colleen, because I found your YouTube page, that thing has already been worth $100,000 for me, and it's not even been a good 2 months. So anyway, I put in my little message, and I'm going to copy the message real quick, and I'm going to paste it in here so you guys can see what I mean. And I'm just going to put the message right here. And you'll see this is what they're talking about when they're talking about the spinner. And I'm going to make this a little bigger so everybody can see it. All right. And so you can see here is everything inside the bracket is spinner. So you say I got hello, hey, hope all is well, great day, how is everything going? And that was my variation number 1. So it was spinning between these 5 variables, meaning just changing the opening. And then the second variable was what your availability was, if you were available, if you were open. That was my second variable. My third variable was reach out to you, touch base with you, connect with you. So just spinning between those 2. My fourth variable meaning just variables, meaning just different ways of saying the same thing. 3 p.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m. That was my third variable. My fourth variable was open, interested in speaking at Success Fest, open to headlining at Success Fest, free to speak at Success Fest. Just different ways of saying, if you are blank, let's talk. If you are open, let's talk. If you are interested in speaking at Success Fest, let's talk. If you are open to headlining at Success Fest, let's talk. If you are free to speak at Success Fest, let's talk. That was my fourth variable. My fifth variable was here, right? My sixth variable was something I did unique because I realized that I didn't want to cause them to spam my to see my link as spam. So I basically created 4 short variables, versions of the link. So I just used the link shortener and shortened the link shorten the same link 4 different times. So it leads to the same place, but I just did it. So that was my fifth variable. And then my sixth variable was talk to you later, look forward to hearing from you, have a great day. Now, when you do that, you're going to see this come up on my screen. It says, did you see where it says possible variations, 43,200? Is that showing on my screen, Henry?
Yes, sir.
Right. Just those 6 variables gave me 43,000.
However, we cannot see your pop-up for your spin, but it's okay.
Okay, one second. I'm gonna share it again. Just 1 second.
Okay, we
Just
can see
show it.
we can see the
Okay,
pop-up screen.
Okay, now can you see the pop-up screen?
No, I believe it's because you're not sharing your whole. But yeah, we can see. I saw it right now. That's
okay,
amazing. 43,200.
43,200 variations of the same message, right? And that was a game changer because it stopped the messages from being seen as spam. They saw them as individual messages, and it made it more personal. So you can see, I'll just shrink it down just a little bit here, right? And when I hit spin once, the first message is hello, whatever the name is Trevor. Hopefully you remember me, LOL. I was checking to see what your availability was to be a potential headliner for Success Fest, yada, yada, yada. If I spin it again, it says great day. If I spin it again, it says hope all is well. If I spin it again, it goes back to great day. Spin it again, hope all is well. But it's all of these different variations being mixed up that creates 43,200 options. I don't know why spinners have not been used inside of text messaging before. And I've used a lot of text messaging platforms. That's not to say I've used them all, but the Lord knows that the spinner is a godsend. So if you use the spinner and you use the AI control panel and you use this as a community builder, a community engager, a community transformation tool, you can do a lot of things. And don't think of it as, difficult. It's just learning a new tool. But I'll tell you this. I can tell you that I have been saving now. We've calculated how much I've saved personally, not even on the campaign side, but just personally. I've already saved or saving around about $4,600 to $4,700 a month. And some of you are like, well, I was never spending that amount before anyway. Yeah, but it's almost like somebody is giving you that amount. So what do I recommend? Market the heck out of your products and services. Build your list, and then start to use SMS-iT to really to get people to get connected to the people that's on your list. Because once they get to your list, I have I got a $100,000 person list on Infusionsoft. I have doubled that on my Go High level. I got probably another 30,000 sitting in active campaign. These are things that I've kind of built up, but I can tell you, I don't get that type of response when I send emails out. I get some response, but I don't get that kind of response. And I don't get that kind of response when I'm using Keep or Active Campaign. And so using, and I've used ManyChat, right? That, still doesn't compare. I've used the chat bots, that doesn't compare. I've used emails, you still got to use email, but that doesn't compare. You start consistently using SMS community building techniques, you can win the day. So at the end of the day, I would say that the war that you have to win every day is the war for consistency. You can never lose the war of consistency, and you can never lose the war of commitment. Because if you lose the war of consistency and commitment, you also lose the war of building cash flow for your business. So that is what I would share with everybody who is coming into using the tool, especially for those people who are using the SIM card version of it, meaning you're using individual cell phones. And by the way, I bought my cell phones like on Henry said, go on eBay, buy some cell phones. So I did. I found some phones for like $10, $20, $5. You can see I labeled, I got all my little phones labeled and all that kind of good stuff. And some of y'all might be getting a text message from me, especially if I have any speakers or coaches out there. But Henry, thanks. Colleen, thanks. Ariana, thanks. Matt, thanks. Watch the video. And even as you guys are watching the videos, realize that even this SMS-iT, this is his own community. And we're using it within this community to build community. So think of it as a community tool, not a marketing tool. If you use it as a community tool, you will create the results that you are looking for. And be a friend to somebody else. I was a friend to some friends of mine who were running for office, and they called me up. And I was shudder to think what would happen if they didn't call, if I wasn't a friend to them. So be a friend to somebody else, a fellow entrepreneur, a fellow leader. I have a meeting on Sunday after church to meet with the pastor of my local church to start using this to stay connected to the members, to start to lower the overall cost. Also, I have a meeting today. So as soon as I get off with you guys, it's 1:45 my time, Eastern Standard Time. I have a 3 o'clock with a young lady who has been spending about $2,000 a month on Shopify. So she is paying like through Klaviyo and Shopify, and those people who know what Shopify is, you got to send receipts and all that kind of stuff. So she's getting ready to lower her costs, right? Basically down to about $10 to $20 a month to stay connected to her Shopify store. She sells hair care products, and get this, she's getting ready to use the coupon feature to send out a massive coupon to her list. She's been selling hair care products now for about 3 years. She has this list of about 200,000 people that she sold hair care products through over the years. And now she's getting ready for the first time ever, send out this ongoing, massive text messaging coupon campaign to sell her products. And the name of the product is called Lit Curls, right? And so this product is making, it is creating change for the everyday entrepreneur. So that's all she wrote. The pencil broke, but yeah, these are, from Shopify to connecting it to Go High Level to marketing to your clients to running political campaigns. I don't know what SMS can't do, right? But I know this, it can dang on sure make you some money if you use it correctly. So I love it, and I've never seen anything like it. So thanks, Henry. Appreciate it.
Okay, well,
you're welcome, bro.
We are just so blown over with your story, Mr. Trevor. Just a couple of questions here. Number one, did you use a combination of cloud phone and the decentralized, SIM card in your campaigns?
We used right toward the last week of the campaign, SMS-iT added on the feature that allowed people to make robocalls, phone calls. And guess what we used on the last 3 days of the election? Everybody got a personal phone call, and it was so freaking cool. So, yep, we did use the cloud version. And I have both. I have the cloud version, and I have the decentralized version. So, yes, love it, love it, love it. And so, yeah.
Okay. And also, I think you got a lot of responses. You said people replied back and texted back when you had your campaigns.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because we had to track the results. You don't know. But when we started tracking those links and we started seeing this, we're like, holy mackerel, look, these people are clicking this. So much so when I get done with you, I'm gonna do my 3 o'clock, and then I'm headed to go buy some more fountains. Because and it's funny because I called up all my friends, right, and all my business friends, and because I know that they are skeptical, because I was skeptical. Heck, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm literally buying them all their own phone and gonna give them their own login and password and say, hey, here's your phone, here's your what's name, try it out. It's my $10 gift to you, right? It's the gift that keeps on giving. And just to watch them I'm looking forward to watching them send out their links and things like that. Now, I have a pretty big community myself. As I told you, I'm on an organization called Black CEO. We have 200,000 plus members all across the world, minority entrepreneurs who are looking to grow their business. And this is the tool that we're literally going to be introducing to them. I'm gonna tell you, I'm telling you, I send text messages. I've been sending text messages for 10 years. So I know what they cost, and I know how expensive it can get. And it's one thing when you got a little list of 1,000, 2,000 people, you start letting that list get into the tens of thousands, and text message marketing becomes a little limited. You can't really do it that much. And just to get the leads, like But I have freaking appointments. I mean, what is better than having, what does every entrepreneur live for? Any entrepreneur worth their salt lives for what I'm going to put on my screen. And this is, I'm going to pull up what we saw. And by the way, this thing connects to Pabbly, this thing connects to Zapier, and then on top of all of that, they are getting ready to create their own optimization process. And let me share my screen here. This is, so I'm gonna pull this up. And I'll share my screen real quick, and I'll just hit minus and just make this a little smaller. And you can just see, these are just all of the appointments. These are just all the appointments that just came in over the last day or so. Let me just hit hide. And in the list goes, you can see, it just keeps going. You can see June 25th, June 26th, June 27th, right? You can see that schedule. And the list just keeps going, going, and going, right? And, you know, I can go page after page. These are just 3 days worth of appointments. My entire sales team is booked. They are slammed. They are booked. And that's what the system did. So you guys saw it firsthand. I believe that, you know, when it comes to things like this, you can see new appointments are still coming in. So when it comes to things like this, nothing is better than seeing it yourself, seeing it in person. So that's what it's all about. And as it pertains to you guys, as you're using your text message marketing, driving it into some type of appointment, driving it into a funnel of some type, spending a little bit of time just kind of deciding how you're going to bring people through. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to run a little bit of Google ads to bring some new people onto the list. And then when those new people come onto my list, guess what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start building community, connecting to a community, transforming community, using what? SMS-iT. And so it's just amazing. So of course I've been running my mouth, talking and over, you know, taking over the whole thing, but I am exceedingly grateful. And if you can't tell, I can talk about this all day. It's been like we have literally found revenue alchemy. Alchemy used to be the process of really turning lead into gold. Well, we just turned lead into gold. Right.
That's an amazing testimony. And I'm quite sure Mr. Henry is just jumping up and down because we are overwhelmed with statistically. This is amazing stats and marketing use cases for conversion. Conversion, guys. They got, is it correct? You got 2 people elected, Mr. Trevor?
Yes.
These are women that were not known at all, and they're now one in the House of Delegates. Is that correct?
Yep. One in the House of Delegates and one in the State Senate. We
got somebody elected in the U.S. Senate state capitol. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. So it can, it is amazing to really think about what the power of text messaging is, and especially now that you can do it at a nominal cost. And now you can actually afford to talk to your people. I mean, giving you perspective. Facebook just came out with their new algorithm, their new system. If I post on Facebook right now, I have a 0.7% chance of somebody connected to me seeing my post. It used to be 10%. You now have a 0.7%. You have less than a 1% chance of somebody who is connected to you seeing your post on Facebook. That is insane. They're your Facebook friend, but they have a low likelihood of seeing your message. But man, everybody knows the numbers on text messages. 90% of all text messages are actually received and seen within the first 3 minutes of them getting the message. And 98% of them are seen, right, within the first 3 hours. We know these stats, and we've known them for a long time, but we just haven't had the ability to really, really communicate. And so, or do it effectively and do it affordably. So yeah, it's amazing. Anybody that's not using this is insane. Start using your phone. Only thing I regret is that I didn't use it personally in my business a month ago. That I started using it personally like a week ago, but I used it for the campaign a month ago. So because I got so tied up in the campaign, I didn't get a chance to use it in my own business. But had I been using it in my business a month ago, we'd be having a bigger conversation. And I'll be posting the stats as they come up and things like that. But so far, 400 appointments in 3 days.
But Mr. Trevor, I heard your story. You said in the beginning you struggled. I think you said you burned 30 phones. Like, I mean, you weren't, you didn't like skyrocket the first time. So can you tell us, what happened there, the alchemy in the transition?
The first mistake that I made is, again, marketing rehab, was in the settings. And I'm going to pull that up because I want to make sure everybody sees that, because it's extremely important. So let me just share my screen real quick. In the settings, and you guys should be seeing my screen right now. When you go here on the gateway side, so I was in decentralized, and you go down to profile, and you want to make sure that this right here, where it says delay messages, you want to make sure that that's 10 to 30 seconds. The first time, I put that thing on 3 to 7 seconds. So I got bird. Call them and tell them to change my number. And it didn't even take long. After 3 hours, they had already listed me as a spammer. Burned all my phones. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to send as many messages as I can, as fast as humanly possible. But something I didn't realize, had I gotten all the messages through, I would have completely overwhelmed my salespeople. So I was able to just keep it consistent, right? And at the 10 to 30 seconds, guess what? Each phone was averaging about 1,000 messages a day. That was great. 5 phones, 5,000 messages a day. And essentially, for most businesses can't handle, especially if you call it, can't really handle more than 400 to 500 interviews a day anyway. So that's a really good number for your team. Most people will be happy with 400 to 500 appointments in a month, 6 months. You're talking about, in a couple of days. So my sales team right now, they're in meetings on Zooms and things like that. So, that was one of the things that I really had to focus on. That was the first mistake. The second mistake were subtle things, like the first phones that I bought were really not good. It was from a company called, matter of fact, hold on. The first phone was from a company called Red Dot, and those phones were too cheap. The memory was too. They didn't have enough memory on it, and oftentimes it was pop up. So it was too cheap of a phone, right? And this phone is probably 10 years old. So you needed something. I wouldn't say that's brand spanking new, but you needed something that had at least a reasonable amount of memory and didn't get clogged up. So that was another mistake I made by getting a bunch of $10 Red Dot phones. I got rid of those, and basically the LG Aristos, Aristo, worked really well for me. I got a couple of Google phones too. Those work really well. But in other words, don't run out to try to get the most cheapest phone that you could get. Also, another big one I made, Colleen told us about a company called Tello. And Tello, the first numbers that I burned through was Tello. Matter of fact, Tello sent me a note that says, all those numbers, we just disconnected you for violating the terms of service because of that time. Now, when I set it to the 10 to 30, the Tello works just fine. So Colleen, big shout out there. And Tello, very easy to set up a Tello account. Literally, I'm just gonna, just so everybody who's watching today, so you can see that what we're telling you, you can do too. You go to Tello. I did not need unlimited data. I didn't need any of that. I just got a little bit of data, like 1 gig, and I chose unlimited minutes in text messages, or you can do this, and you can get to $9 a month. Or if you're not going to be sending picture-based messages, here's the thing. If you are sending MMS message and you're sending a picture inside of your message, then you're going to need data. Let me say that again. You're going to need a data plan. But if you don't, then you can just get right here and you can be at $8 a month. You guys see it right here on the screen. And here's the thing. If you're not going to be making phone calls and you just send straight text messages, okay, well, you can just go down to, you can just get unlimited minutes, unlimited text messages. They used to just have unlimited text messages. Let me see if they have it on here. Unlimited minutes, free text message. Okay. So unlimited minute, unlimited texts, they've gone up a little bit, but not much.
Yeah, I believe they actually changed it because of you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably did, right? But
because of you guys.
It's $8 a month.
Yeah, it was $5 previously. Now they actually changed it.
Well, it was $5 if you had just text messaging, no phone. But now they took off just the unlimited text message. We probably did make them change it. But what I did was I went and got the plan there. The other thing that I did is I just went on eBay and bought the Tello SIM cards. They were like $3 because with Tello they take a long time. It take a week or so to get it. But if you go to eBay and just type in Tello, people selling those. You can buy like a batch of like 10 cards for like $3 a piece and call it that. So that's what I did all the stuff. I sort of like it's a community. We got to share the secrets. Colleen shared, go to Tello. Henry said, do it this way. Check it out. Everybody was just think of it like potluck success. Matter of fact, everybody type into the chat, potluck success, right? And so this is like a potluck dinner. Everybody's bringing a little piece that they know, that they have to make the program, to make the system, to make the community more successful. So it's like potluck success, right? And everybody brought a little piece. And then you got Matt has the boot camp coming up, which I'm going to be there. I bought my own ticket, right? And you guys should be there too, because learning how to use each of these little features, from the coupons to this thing can do everything. So you just want to really learn how to do all of the different things so that you can really really boost your business. We got another young lady who runs a nanny placement service, and she's now using the system as well. So it's just unbelievable what this thing could do.
Mr. Trevor, also, a lot of people don't understand the sub-accounts, but you really use the sub-accounts to the max. Could you explain how that helped you in your success?
Yeah, so before, I was taking all of my phones and putting them in one group on the decentralized side. And so what would happen was, think of this is, there is the control mechanism. Let's just say this is the control mechanism. And then off of it, you got like 10, 20 phones. And it would just take the one message from this phone and say, this control node is going to send out 20,000 messages, and it's going to split it up between these 20 phones. Which in your mind, you think that that's the best way to use it, but it's not. Because what happens is when you do it that way, you can't use the AI control panel. You can't use the spinner. So what I did instead, after consulting with Henry and consulting with the team, was I went and I bought the package where you could get 20 not team accounts, agency accounts.
It's about 50, bro. It's about 50 accounts for $20.
Yeah, some ridiculous amount of accounts. And so what I did was, it was so cheap, it was like $20. Okay, well, great. I'm already giving Tello $8. What's giving SMS-iT $20, right? So I did $20, called it a day, right? And then I took each one of my phones and set them up as their own individual accounts. And the reason why I did that was for a couple of reasons. Now, listen to me closely. I'm telling you, they told me what not to do, but I did it anyway. And then when it didn't work, I went back to do it the way they told me. So, one, the first time I sent out a message, I sent out like 40,000 messages. And then when a mistake happened, I had to stop the whole campaign. And I didn't know where I left off at, couldn't start, all that kind of good stuff. So it just messed me all up. And I like to start over from scratch, where they told me, hey, bro, it's good if you break your list up into chunks of like 5,000, 10,000. So now I got 5,000 on this phone, 5,000. So I just took a little bit of time, took me maybe 10 to 15 minutes of due diligence, breaking my list down so that if I had a problem with one of the lists, I didn't have to start the whole thing over. That's the thing. So one, listen, you're already saving Google money. But take time. If you take an additional 30 minutes before you get your big campaigns going, you will save yourself time and money. Additionally, the AI control panel is what is controlling it. Think of it as the thing that optimizes your SMS sending. It makes it so that one, your send is likely to go through. It's doing a better job at tracking. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. Is only on the AI side do you have back and forth communication, the two-way messaging. Now, you'd be surprised how many people actually message you back. Hey, yeah, can you tell me a little bit more about this? And it's just as natural of a communication. When you're just trying to do that, what I call shotgun approach, where you just blasting everything, it's really more, it's spamming. It's more, they don't feel the connection. It feels very markety. So what I did, I just went on over there, popped in my $20, set the account up, and then when I set my account up, it was just so, matter of fact, I went here, right? So I will, let me just see here. Where's that SMS-iT? It's somewhere here. Until, oh, there it is right there. So when I went back to, if I go back to the decentralized dashboard here, let's just go here. 1 second, I'll just put all this back in there real quick. And I went over to, see there's team sub-accounts, but you want agent sub-accounts. And I went to the agent packages, right? And I just, I bought me a little package and where did they go to? I bought a package, I think, because I already bought mine.
So I believe you bought a package. You're going to click at two ways to make money. Yeah. So you're going to click at 2 ways to make money at the left navigation panel at the top. Yeah. Yep. 2 ways to make money. Yeah. Sub-account agents. Yes.
Oh, yeah. This is
right here.
Yeah, and I bought this one for $20. I bought this one right here. And then when I bought this one, then I went over to management and I went to agent sub-accounts. And then what I did was I just set up each one of these as a phone. So I put phone 1. So by the way, a simple trick, especially for those people who are using Google, if you put +1 after your account, so if you're like Trevor@gmail.com, and you put Trevor +1 at gmail.com, it'll create another account. It'll create an account that's linked to the same email account. So you don't have to keep buying a million email accounts or keep creating a million. So then if you do another one, Trevor +2 at Gmail account, it's still linked to your regular Trevor at Gmail account. So I just created support +1, support +2, support +3, support +4, support +5. And I connected one phone to each one of those accounts. And then what I did was and I'll do this here. That should share the whole screen. And then let's see here. Yeah, that should do that. Okay, then I went here and then you can see if you go, let's see here. I'm gonna go to this one. I'm just gonna open up an incognito window and you can see whereas I connected this phone number right here to this account. So this is my phone number one. It's connected to this account. And now I can use all of the features like the group keyword, and I can use the bulk sender here, and all of the things like the coupons and all that kind of good stuff, and it's attached to this number. Makes it easier to track, make it much easier to organize. And you can see then for number 2, I just go here, open link in incognito window, and you can see this one is linked to this phone. So I literally just set it up to each phone. Now, by the way, incidentally, let me be clear. I'm eventually getting ready to be selling these accounts. So I'm going to set up about 50 accounts, and I'm going to sell them like, listen, you now have unlimited text messages and 99 a month, and your phone can do 1,000 text messages a month. Here's your link, here's your thing, here's your settings, everything is already set up, right? And so if I do number 3, here's number 3 right here, and you can see I got a different number attached to that account, and they get all of the features. So I know that your natural inclination is to sort of use the base level one like this one, but you rob yourself of so many features, and you don't want to do that. You want to use the entirety of the features. You want to use all of these. The system is far more powerful than just sending out a text message. There's so many other things that you can do, and so many other things that you can track. And so you want to make sure that you're really using that. And you got all these smart tools and the voice broadcast, the contest. Oh my God, the loyalty programs, you can't use all of that unless you are using the AI side. So you want to give each phone the power to use the entirety of the system. And so that's what I would say, Ariana. That's why, I had to really take the time to learn how to use the individual features and not try to figure out a workaround around the workaround. Like when I first came into the system, I tried to figure out a workaround around the workaround. Like I basically tried to break the system. It already created a way for it to work, but I was like, I got to do it my own little way. Again, marketing rehab. So those of y'all who belong in marketing rehab, go ahead. Don't let me be out here alone. Say me. I belong in marketing rehab. Here's what I'm telling you. Do it the way that they are telling you to do it. Have some patience. And the reason why I say have some patience is because there are no other systems out there that are going to allow you to really do this. And even if they do, the key thing is the support. The support. Every day from at basically at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, those people are there all the way to like 8 o'clock at night. And they helping you out. And in the Facebook group, and they, we see people all the time. Sometimes I see people in the group, they're like, oh, I wish this worked this way or that way. Well, find a place where you could get this amount of service, this system for this price, and go there. But you're not. And when you've been doing text message marketing as long as I have, and I've been in all the big systems. I mean, from the early days of when Twilio first opened up, and Plevo and all of these companies. And I know what it costs to really do text message marketing. So this one is, you have literally gotten in at really like the ground level of a company that is going to literally take the world by storm. Everybody can literally be having their own text message marketing business. So because of what I have spent in the last year, I've been happy to open up my Twilio account. And if you guys saw what I normally spent for Twilio, you would have heart palpitations. So use the system. And if you need help, like things like building out your funnels or building out your marketing campaigns, reach out to me. Reach out. Ariana is a sales expert. Colleen is if you haven't seen her videos and her presentations, if you're struggling in building your presentation and really presenting to your audience and really presenting a solid offering, you got to talk to Colleen, right? She really is a rock star. Mac is a techno guru, right? He's a tech marketer, and he loves this stuff. You got to connect with them. And there's some other stuff that's coming. I don't even want to tell you about it because I know Henry's going to tell you about it. But some of the stuff that's coming, So that being said, turn it back over to you, Ariana.
Yeah, Mr. Trevor, actually, you just gave us the mother lode gold. I'm beyond. I work, internally in the company with the customer care team, tirelessly. And today, Henry and I are beyond words because you are proven testimony that this little, company is doing such monumental things, building communities, and it's amazing your journey. I really, that you have, because we can only imagine it. But now you got to prove it, David versus Goliath, right? Against all odds. And what I liked about your transformation is you struggled with it in the beginning and tried to give the...
I struggled massively.
and get the shortcuts, and then eventually you went back to Henry and said, Henry, I need help here, and Henry programmed it and said, bro, we already have that, this is how you'll do it real easy, right? So it's already programmed in the system, but you got to find the gem, like how it's like a horse, right? You got to find out the speed. You got to learn from the beginning how to really learn the system inside and out. And then you hit jackpot, okay, I got it, right?
And Ariana, one thing too also is just to show you something. In the time that we've been on the phone, you guys remember when I opened this up, we were at 380 new speaker interviews. So in the time that we've been on this Zoom, we've now gone from 380 appointments set to 427. Now, I think that is, we've been here for about an hour. So let's do 427 minus 380 is when we first came in. So we picked up 47 new appointments in the last hour. So in the time that you guys are wasting by not using the system, in just that hour, you could have picked up 40 to 50 new. These are not somebody just clicked and said, we're interested. These are people that set the appointment. And we live by appointments. So yeah, this thing is an appointment setting, sales setting, sales converting monster that everybody needs. Back over to you, Ariana. Back over to you, Henry.
Well, Henry, is there something you'd like to say? I'm actually overwhelmed here with, we've been working so hard getting people to understand what our software platform can do. And sometimes still we get bashed, especially Mr. Henry. He's working around the clock 24/7 and he still doesn't get the appreciation, guys. So shout out to everyone here, Mr. Trevor, Mr. Henry. Really, this is an amazing, amazing day for us. You just don't know how happy we are that finally, someone, is coming out and we didn't even expect this. We just talked to Mr. Trevor late this week about his success. So I'm quite sure Henry is like beyond words, right, Henry?
I say, what I want to say is there's a difference with building out a software and just releasing it, and there's a difference of using the software just for yourself first. I just built this for myself. Success was so extreme, and I was like, I'm gonna have to share this with the world. A lot of folks do not really understand. That was the reason why I built this. I actually had a problem. I wanted to do test marketing, and it was too expensive. And I was, well, I'm just gonna build it for myself. And I built it. It was for internal use. It wasn't to sell. It was so good. And my sister was, bro, wouldn't you sell this? Guys, actually, my sister was the one that said, bro, I think you should share this. This is too good. You can't just keep this alone. It's not going to be fair. You're going to have an extreme competitive edge, and you have folks that you could help with this. Then I said, all right, so I would have to share this. And that was the reason why he came out. So he came out as beta first, you know? And so what I'm trying to say is I tested it already. I had problems and I solved them. So when I tell folks, oh, do it this way, it's not because I'm trying to sell. It's because that's the way you would succeed. Because the goal is, remember, we got 3 goals for you, because that was what I did. SMS-iT first is built for only companies that want a recurring, I built it for folks that had the recurring business model, folks that wanted MRR, because that's my company. That's what I wanted, MRR. Then I built it to solve 3 problems I had, which MRR companies have. And the first is churn, okay? Because you MRR, you want to retain customers, so customers are leaving. Because my idea is MRR is you stay constantly. It's easy to sell one time. It's kind of harder to sell to that individual on a monthly basis, right? So I had to think about how to reduce churn. And then because I had a churn problem, I had to think about how to get new leads with perfect accuracy. That's what you guys should understand. When I use the word perfect accuracy, a lot of folks think, oh, he's just using marketing words. But you don't understand that I saw it already. Everything Trevor's telling you about, I already performed this last year perfectly well. I performed in such a manner that you would not believe it. What I can do with SMS would amaze you. If you stay with me, I can show you 360 different things SMS will do for you. That means every single day I can show you a brand new thing. I'm amazed Ariane to the point that she doesn't still understand the software. You can ask her, because if we have a meeting today, I'm going to show her something and she'll be like, oh my God. It's constant, because you should understand that I really play with things. Like I go so deep, okay, down to the strings of the atom, not just the nucleus, okay, the electrons and the protons. I'm going down to the strings now, the vibrating strings, okay, but down, 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 down. It's different when you build, and it's different when you understand, because I built it for me. It was solving my problem. So I had to build the spinner there. I had to do this, I had to do this, I had to do this. And I'm still using it for myself. But mostly I use it for myself when in my brain, I just think, because I do a lot of thinking constantly. So I prefer to stay just thinking about the problem so I can solve it quickly. I consider it a complete waste of time when I don't do that, because I wouldn't bring solutions you have. You need to understand, when you do this, there's repercussions. You make me waste my time, okay, attending to not thinking about solutions. You wouldn't have the solutions you need. It's just a fact. I need you to understand this, because I'm still human, and I still have 24 hours in a day, regardless of the fact that I can work 24 hours in a day. It can be 25 hours in a day, right? And don't you want me to spend 24 hours in a day solving problems? If Trevor tells you of the new product that's coming out, it would blow your mind. It does not exist now. And it's coming in such a manner that it's going to do one thing for you. It's going to make you extremely successful at a very low rate. And that's the key I need you guys to understand. Because if it can bring success for me, then it can bring success for you. So imagine the scenario. Have you ever imagined a scenario where somebody comes with a problem and then tries to tell me how to solve the problem? Guys, just think about this scenario. Somebody comes to me with a problem and now tries to tell me how to solve the problem. I'm trying to tell you how to solve it. You want to walk around it because you're thinking differently. I'm looking at you because you don't understand that your walk around or what you're thinking, I already thought about it last year. It's just a fact. I already thought about it, saw the issue, solved it. So when I'm like, okay, let's solve it. Okay, and then you're going to go around trying to solve it your way. I'm looking at you. I've had folks I'm talking to, okay, trying to, let's say, configure Pabbly for them, and they never used Pabbly before. And you're trying to tell me now how to use Pabbly. I'm like, could you just wait so I can show you? And then they give me about 3 minutes, and do so much configuration. They like, wow. I'm like, you see, you just saved a lot of money because normally you're supposed to go meet your developers, right? And pay to set up your thing. I'm taking my time to help you set it up. It would at least be kind if you just let me do my job, right? And not trying to teach me how to do something that I can do in my sleep. You understand? When I can do something in my sleep, it's kind of frustrating when someone's trying to tell me how to do it because your thoughts and everything, I already did that already. Because that's what I do. I just think, really, you know? And the new team that we have is so lovely. Guys, see, there was a difference because you need to understand that when I started first and with Absolmo, I was doing a lot of things myself, right? I was doing things that folks were like, oh my God, it's not humanly possible, it's gonna break down ATC. Well, I'm kind of built for such things. I can actually multitask constantly, okay? Because I spend a lot of time just trying to do it properly, all right? Because I do things properly. I'm kind of used to it, all right? Okay? So, as usual, growth is required. I'm not trying to, this is not a small business that I'm trying to build here, or we're trying to build here, right? Trying to build some very large. So that means growth is required. And the fastest way to growth, right, is while you bootstrapping, you build the right team and you do that constantly. So it shouldn't be surprising when we have a CEO, right? Shouldn't be surprising when we build up the customer support, right? Shouldn't be surprising when we have a bigger dev team, right? That's the path to growth, right? So it's also, you need to also understand that because I have a very thick skin where, you know, a lot of folks could just come on Facebook, like in the past, when I was handling most things alone, me and more kinds, my AI, all right? Okay, I could just, as usual, with a very thick skin, you know, just fake out the toxic statements easily and just, you know, make everybody happy and it's cool, you know, because I have a way of fencing myself from negative comments. It doesn't just affect me. So if you write negative comments, right? They like, I don't even like, I look at things ones and zeros. When I see negative comments, it's like bad code. I just delete it. I control delete it instantly. Like it doesn't affect me. So whoever, you know, goes around writing, trying to think about, maybe I'm going to think about it. Like I don't even see it. Like I respond to things mostly without even reading it, especially when it's bad. I just glance through it. And if it's not bad, I instantly know the response and I didn't even read it properly because I don't want to waste my time trying to, you know, allow, you know, negative comments to go in my brain. Like I don't need that. Control delete. When I see the positive ones, I read it 3 times even, absorb it, and I try to bring a solution to make that work. So that person that wrote that positive comment and stated their concern in a lovely way, I always say it should go into the roadmap, even if it doesn't go into the roadmap, because I keep it in my brain. I'm going to solve that problem even faster and better, faster than the ones on the roadmap. And that's the fact because it motivated me to think positively, right? And it's not control delete, it's kept in the folder of my brain. I keep that. So when with my new team now, of course, like I stated, I could easily just block away, you know, negative statements. It doesn't affect me, right? But what about my new team? These are individuals, right? Most are not built like me, right? So would it affect them? Of course. Do you want folks to come to the company and leave because of folks that just keep bashing steadily? I'm sure folks like Trevor and others that are using SMS-iT do not want that to happen. So what am I going to do? That's the reason why I had to bring up laws. Previously, imagine the Facebook, I never had laws because I didn't care. Because I don't care about bad statements. Like I just don't care. It's just like I said, control delete, right? So I put it up there, no laws, because it doesn't affect me negative statement. Like there's no point. It's a waste of time. Like I go back and forth with you intelligently and I make you see reason and I leave it right there. But my other team members, right, because these are people that are doing different things, right? Folks with different values, folks from, different values, remember, folks that are all human. Of course, I'm human, of course. But folks that are, human, that have that emotionally, they could get disturbed if they just, not every day. I mean, not just once in a week, but every day, constantly. Imagine a person asking a question 300 times. How will they answer it? And that individual keeps asking the question, asking questions as though, guys know what I mean. You got questions you can ask, and questions that if it was your company and folks come ask you that question, you're gonna probably act in a different way. But I don't act differently, right? Because I see things very differently, which is that individual is saying some things with an error in his statements, which I call it error in the code. I can, put in the right code right there and make it be good. But others probably wouldn't be able to do that. And I own the situation where folks are trying to leave because of folks that are just coming there to act, to, constantly cause chaos with statements. If you write chaotic statements, come on, guys, nobody's less than 18-year-old in the group. And once you're 18 years old, I believe you cannot change no more. That means you're smart enough now to handle life. You're an adult. That's it. So that means you should already know that this kind of statement leads to that. Oh, come on, guys. I'm sure folks think before they write. And you're gonna already know what you're writing before you write it. It's fact. You might think that I'm not saying your intentions, but it's clear. I see it so clearly. I write in a different way. It does not mean that I do not see extreme offense in what you're reading. I write differently. You don't see my you don't see the emotional feelings when I write, right? You just see reading there. But I'm not like everybody. And I have other folks that are, handling this social media now. You don't want me in social media, right? And I should be developing, right? Solving problems for you guys, right? So I'm replacing myself in social media, but these folks will not be able to take, insults, abuse, things things of that nature. They wouldn't be able to. You would make it difficult for folks to solve you. Imagine someone trying to come solve you and you insult that individual. Is that fair? Like, guys, come on. Someone's just trying to solve you. And instead, you just want to bring that person down. Okay, if we go, who else is going to solve you? Have you thought of that? If I decide to go right now, who else would solve you? If there's someone else to serve you, can you point that person right now? Do you guys know that we've even gotten attacks from competitors because they don't like the fact that we're solving you in this manner? Do you know how many DOS attacks that I've gotten? It can pass through because I am very good when it comes to, social security. Kind of doing a good job. Do you guys know if you go right now to SMS-iT, if you go right now to Google and just type in SMS-iT, you're going to see how competitors actually using SMS-iT to bid for themselves. Go right now, type in SMS-iT, you're going to see competitors bidding with our name, trying to get our customers. And then after all that, I still come back to the folks I'm trying to serve, and I'm getting bashes constantly. Not even once in a week, every day, mostly same individuals. Like, really? I've never seen an individual that cannot be solved before in such a way that he's happy. I've never seen that. I always know that there is always a solution to a problem. If that problem becomes constant, that means it becomes nagging now. That means it's not more a problem, it's a bug that should be deleted. Some folks talk about, hey, file customers. I always believe there's a solution. Right, guys? And then the solution I brought up is, you know what? I'm putting the laws there now in Facebook, and when the contents are not kind, etc., they break the laws, I delete it. Simple process. Because I think that would be the only solution that I believe would, create a peaceful environment. Because folks, man, you guys are entrepreneurs. You already got enough problems in your lives. Believe that you don't want to come to a group and you got no problems. So, folks, making it toxic. The folks also that are going to be affected. Everybody's waking up in the morning with different issues. You don't know what folks are going through. You don't just know. You're not the only one going through whatever you're going through. I'm going through things too. Ariane is going through things. Even Trevor that's coming saying, Kumbaya songs, believe me, he's going through things. He needs a state of mind to be in this way so he can succeed. If you start making his state of mind toxic, he's not going to succeed. You can believe that. He would not succeed. He's succeeding because when he calls me, I tell him very positive things. I make him understand, bro, you can break. You can call me at 12 midnight and you get me resolve it. And you can ask him. It's been that way. Not everybody can solve you that way. Remember that. You guys are lucky because I'm going nowhere. Facts. Number one, I'm going nowhere. So no matter whoever you are and you believe that you want to come say spastic, man, no matter what, already, not only will I control delete you in my memory, I'm going to probably just delete that statement and keep everybody happy. Because we are going nowhere. And that's a fact I need to understand. Because it's no longer just about, it's never been about me. Now it's no longer just about SMS-iT. Now it's about community building, like Trevor said. Now it's about empowering folks, like Trevor said. Now all of a sudden, now a bigger picture is becoming clear. It's no longer just a marketing company. It's about sustainability in community building. That's very powerful, to finally know what you stand for based on what your audiences have told you. That's an extreme or perfect example of what I call product market fit. And that's what I've been telling you guys about, that product market fit idea. Guys, so I'm probably just stop here and let Ariana continue, guys, okay?
Anyway, thank you for that powerful reminder, Mr. Henry. Mr. Henry is, built this company from, I would say, himself starting out, and now it's growing amazingly and helping individuals, moving communities, and making the Davids go against the Goliath. So sometimes, guys, we work so hard. Actually, we built up a team. We have developers and customer care team. Within the month, we have a lot of people coming in and more to come, because our community is growing, servicing you. But of course, sometimes when we see comments of people that don't understand, but today, Mr. Trevor Otts has proven, guys, that the software works, and it works beautifully if you really understand like how to drive that car. And that's what we've been trying to tell you. But the best is to show you how one person can be able to go against all odds. Guys, Mr. Trevor said SMS-iT helped to elect a person to be a senator. Is that correct, Mr. Trevor? I mean, I'm like, it's unbelievable, against all odds. Can you imagine that? So what can it do to solopreneurs and entrepreneurs like yourself? You're just one person, and then suddenly your voice is heard, and you use the right tool, and suddenly your business just expands amazingly beyond your imagination. Okay, so I hope this was a very very moving time for you. It changed your perspective, because me right now, I'm so motivated to move forward. And Mr. Trevor, we owe so much to you. I'm actually about to cry, because your story is, I think it's Hollywood. I mean, it's just like something out of the script, but it's amazing. It's a true story. So thank you so much, sir. And I think everybody is in the chat. Put the number 1. Shout out for Mr. Trevor. Please, in the chat, guys. In Facebook, please, let's all clap for Mr. Trevor. Can I have somebody there who's joyful? Get the mic and just say how thankful you are for Mr. Trevor today. Yes, please. Who wants to volunteer and say something to Mr. Trevor? Mr. Joel, yeah. Oh, all ones. Oh my God, yeah. I'm gonna unmute you guys. Say hi to Mr. Trevor. Please thank him. He shared so much.
And please unmute everybody, please.
Yes,
so everybody
Joel, hi.
Hi. Wow, Trevor, that was really amazing. I thank you for that, for you sharing that story. That was amazing. I learned so much from you. I had no idea of doing the Express cell phone. I'm like, holy cow, this is like gonna change the way I do business. So everybody should have been listening on that, because you bought the 20 plan, you bought the 20. I bought the 320. So I can go out and get 300 phones going. So thank you.
Appreciate it. Mr. Joe is one of our amazing raving fans, and he's out there in Arizona. He will be bombastic after this. He'll go nuclear. Anybody else, guys, wants to have a shout out to Mr. Trevor? We appreciate your coming out and saying hi. Yes, just unmute yourself. These people are so shy. I have Lucius here saying 111. Go ahead.
Hey, Trevor. Hey, Trevor. I am like blown away by what you just presented over here, because for me, I am getting new to the marketing space. I just moved out of the military and I started onto this niche. So where I was thinking in terms of SMS marketing, my scope where I was looking, I think I was looking at the guppies in the ocean, from what you just explained here. It was just amazing. And yeah, I love this type of software, and I love to see the development, even what Henry himself have put forward in terms of how to start up the business and how to keep churn and all that extra stuff. That itself is it was really powerful and really helpful. So thank you guys a lot. Thank you, Ariana. Thank all you guys.
Thank you.
It's really helpful.
Yeah, we're here to really build up our community, and we are so pumped up. I don't know what to say.
It pumped me up. Yeah. So
look at this gentleman. Yeah, beside me. They look like, my God, like movie stars, right? I mean, dressed so well, and I'm honored to be in their company. Amazing brain power. But what I like about them is, guys, just do it. When I'm with this team, it's like, just let's get this done. It's not theory. Let's get this done approach. So everybody else.
Yeah, the other thing I would say is, man, there is no better way to resurrect a dead list than a text message. And you got people sitting all around you with 500 people in MailChimp or 2,000 people in constant contact, where they literally have a list, but they really haven't figured out how to make that list move. And so, yeah.
Also, I wanted to say something important, which is this. Of course, for convenience, a lot of folks would want to use Twilio. However, remember, there's a price for convenience. And the price for convenience could be very expensive when you want to really win. SMS was built in a way that all you have to do is just spend a little time to configure it properly. Now all of a sudden, you're saving in a ridiculous manner Of course, with Twilio, you can set up SMS in less than 1 minute. That's convenient. With your SIM card, you need some little time. Get your phone, get your SIM card, you say that. But you know what you're doing. It's as though it's the reading law in nature which says when you work a little bit harder and smarter, just the fact, you should expect higher returns. It's the fact. So of course, that individual that took his time to go get that phone and that SIM card properly and listen to us, use the spinners and all that beautiful stuff, would win more than you that have used Twilio with SMS. Of course, think about the curse, bro. Just think about the curse. Imagine Trevor was using Twilio right now with SMS. Of course, convenience, but he wouldn't be able to achieve this result because the cost would still be expensive. And that's a fact. And I need you guys to understand that you will do better than the other individual when you decide to take a little time to set things up properly. You know, really use the system like it's supposed to be used. You extremely outshine any other individual, believe me, guys. Do you know that you could actually get a SIM card and have international testing? Talking about right here in the US. Do you know what that means? International testing. It means you can send your messages to your international customers. That's what that means. So that means all of a sudden you don't need to just target the United States now. You can actually have your phone for a Metro PCS, I believe it's about $15 extra. That's it. And now I got international testing. Just think about what I just said. Especially those folks that have Shopify, etc. You know? So when you say, of course, Twilio is the best, that's the wrong statement. It's the best for convenience. That's the right statement. It's the best for convenience. For you that just want to go, boom. For you that want to go a little bit, instead of 1 minute, you want to go 10 minutes. You know what happens? You really start making money. Because remember, it's all about your bottom line. It's not about you sending messages, guys. Okay? It's finally that bottom line. How much you're saving, how much operational costs you're also saving. Because you set this up once and then you can leave it, let it run. That's what happens. Okay? You could still send another message right now until it could stop you and ask for some, requirements, whatever, I don't know. You don't know, but you set up your SIM card, okay, you're good. You are good to go. And if you notice, Trevor is sending out to opt-in users, those that have already opted in already. And that could be your customers already. Okay, because Shopify, you could while they're purchasing the item and they're giving you contact details, you could put a display, you could put a notice right there and telling them that by giving you this phone number, they're opting into your list. Some of the other ways to get your opt-in list very easy and get consent from customers, right, guys? And there's power in sending out to folks or your customers, but with emails. With just emails, you can, succeed. But your success is, of course, extremely limited. But you can still succeed. But now with SMS, you would now smile. You know when you smile? When you be like, yes, I finally got it. That means a guaranteed way to make money. That's what I mean by yes, I finally got it. It's not about, oh, yes, I finally got it. I can, reach people. No, it's I finally can get appointments to make money. It's I finally can get speakers to come to my thing and make money. It's I finally can sell my products. Yes, I finally did it. Finally have that one shot. That silver bullet I can send into the marketplace and bring myself to the market. Yes, I finally have a go-to-market strategy that works. That's what I'm talking about, guys. A go-to-market strategy that is proven to work. It's not just a marketing tool. It's a go-to-marketing strategy tool that's proven to work. And that's a fact. And you can continue, please, ma'am.
Okay, well, you know, we're about to end the hour. And again, I know this is not the normal, you know, webinars that we have. We really wanted to focus on Mr. Trevor's success. Again and again, we want to thank you, sir, for giving your time. I know you're a very, very busy man. And I hope everybody in the Zoom room or in the Facebook Live, they benefited, we all benefited. So guys, final shout out, please just give us a shout out of 100% here. Just type, you know, 100, okay? 100 for Mr. Trevor, and hopefully we'll have him, more of him in the future. And if there's nothing else, guys, I will have to close this meeting because we're running already beyond the 1.5 hour time limit that we have. We will see you next week on our webinar, 10 a.m. And please always update in the Facebook group our events. Please see there every day. Please visit because we are changing so fast. You know, so many things are happening. Always be there. We'll be sending email out. We'll be sending text notification. We're in touch. Call our customer support 8 to 5. And next week we're gonna actually we're increasing the hours now. After 5 o'clock, you could reach our customer care. And we still have our onboarding for people who are new to the system. Schedule a Zoom. We're always here for you. And a lot of success, After you hearing Mr. Trevor, there is no reason for you not to succeed with SMS-iT, okay? It's just your imagination. He already shared with you how this tool elected to help elect somebody to the Senate. Oh my God. I mean, I'm like blown over.
Here's the affirmation that I use every day for technology, right? It's not hard, it's just new. And I hope everybody write that down and I'm sitting right on top of my computer right now, right? It's not hard, it's just new. And so I wasn't afraid to things go wrong. Don't be afraid for things to go wrong. Don't be afraid for things to not work as intended. Don't be afraid for things to break. Be afraid that you didn't try. Be afraid that you didn't consistently work towards your success. It's not hard. It's just new. And I don't care what new technology you're using, you know, from all the gadgets. Think about all the gadgets we have now, you know. Got iPhones and Android phones, and we got refrigerators that are connected to the internet, and we got Alexas and Siris and you know, every year there's some new technology that you have to use, and we have Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus, and it's not hard, it's just new, right? And that, you know, part of being an entrepreneur is having the ability to adapt for the purpose of creating transformation. It's the ability to adapt for the purpose of creating transformation, and you adapt to the marketplace, you adapt to the new technology, so you create transformation for people that you call to serve. So we'll leave you with adapt and transform. Adapt and transform. Adapt to what's happening in your marketplace, and then use your evolution to transform the lives of others that you are called to serve. Adapt and transform. It's not hard. It's just new. It's not hard. It's just new. And remember, you can teach an old dog new tricks. You can teach an old dog new tricks. I'm an old dog. I've been in marketing literally for about 27 years. And SMS-iT taught me a new trick. You can teach an old dog new tricks. Don't ever be the person that you can't teach a new trick to. Don't ever be that person. See you guys later. Have a wonderful and
Thank you, Mr. Trevor. Thank you so much, sir. So with that, thank you. So with that, guys, if you don't have any more questions for us on the Q&A, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to close this up. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week, 10 a.m. for our webinar. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. See you soon.